Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Peter. Merry Christmas, Hannah.
What?
I said Merry Christmas.
It's not Christmas. It's New Year.
You lie. This is Christmas. Merry Christmas, Bella.
No. Not Christmas. It's New Year.
No, it's Christmas.
New Year.
Christmas.
New Year.
I'll fix you. Christmas. Christmas in my house.
New Year.
Ah, unbelievable. How's Hannah today?
Is good.
Is good. Hannah is good. Were you swimming? It looks like your hair's all wet. Were you swimming? You went
No.
swimming in the bathtub?
No.
Do you have a rubber ducky?
No.
You don't have a rubber ducky? Quack, 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 to play with in the bathtub? No?
No.
Unbelievable. Bella has a rubber ducky. She has a rubber chicken too.
No.
No rubber chicken?
You can have a rubber elephant.
A rubber elephant. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are rubber elephants, but I've never seen one. What about Peter? Peter, you got a rubber duck?
What?
Have you got a rubber duck?
No.
You don't have a rubber duck? Anybody have a rubber duck?
No.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Put your camera on there, Peter. Lesson 5. And lesson 5 is going to be... Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about a tour in Sydney. Where's Sydney? Where's the city of Sydney?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Hannah, you know where the city of Sydney is? Where is Sydney? It's quite a famous city, actually. A lot of tourists go there. Hannah? Peter, put your camera on.
I try.
Yeah, something's wrong. I don't even have the option for you to turn it on or turn it off. Here it says that your camera is on. What's going on here?
I put a USB camera on. Finally.
Oh, there you are. Now we see you. Okay. Is that your dad?
No.
Is your dad still living there, or is he back in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh?
Is not my dad.
No, not him, but your dad. Is your dad still living there, or did he go back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's still there. Yeah. Okay. Because he was living in Ho Chi Minh for a while, right?
I don't know.
Well, he was living somewhere. Where was he living before?
Da Nang.
Oh, he was in Da Nang. Okay. All right. Huh. Hannah, do you know where Sydney is?
No.
No. Peter, do you know where Sydney is?
No.
The city of Sydney. Really? You guys don't know where Sydney is? I'm so glad that I teach a lot of geography and history in this class because you guys don't know much about the world outside of Vietnam. So that's really good. And that's why I call it English with Trevor, more than just English.
English.
More than just English.
No.
Absolutely. Always have topics. Lots of history, lots of geography. Sydney is in Australia. So we're going to read about a tour or a guide or the places to visit, attractions and everything in Sydney today. We're going to read about that. And then we're going to read a funny story, kind of a joke, funny story, but it's cool. So 2 little readings after we do the vocab challenge. All right. So someone is missing now. Who is missing? Oh, yeah, Balu. Tony. Tony was just here because I just did his class with him before this class on a one-on-one because he is on his way back to his hometown, Vin City. Vin City is where he's from. So It's just the four of us. Anyway, so we're gonna get started. So yeah, this is the famous skyline. That building here is a famous building in Sydney Harbour called the Sydney Opera House. That's where they have a lot of theaters and they have a lot of plays and opera singing. I guess it's I've never been to Sydney, but it's apparently it is definitely a very popular place to visit for tourists. I didn't realize that none of you guys knew where Sydney, Australia was. I should have put a better picture of a daytime picture of the city on the thumbnail, but that's okay. We're gonna be talking about Australia, and there'll be lots of other topics where we have Sydney is in the slides and the videos. So you'll learn more about it as we do more interests. So I called this because it's all about Sydney, mostly all about Sydney in the reading. So I called it Sydney Lesson 5. As simple as that. So what do we got for vocab challenge here now? Bella has 2 victories. Oh yeah, Peter won the vocab challenge last week. Oh my goodness. And Hannah won week 1. So it's a real tight race. It's 2 for Bella and 1-1 for Peter and Hannah. So anybody could win this. So this is a big week. Someone's going to tie Bella 2-2, or Bella's going to take a 2-point lead and lead you guys 3-1. So let's get started. Are you ready?
No.
I know.
Yeah.
Hannah. Yeah. Peter, you ready to win again? Back to back?
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
You have to be positive, mister. You have to be positive. Our first word today is going to be, what do we call these kinds of parks? Right, the special parks, they usually have a style to them. This is a water park. This one is more like a festival or a fair. I remember this ride. It's called the Zipper. I went in this one. I used to love this ride when I was a kid. It spins around, and people would be like screaming. I remember that. I've been on all these rides, actually. All of these look familiar. These are old rides. An amusement park. This one is probably Walt Disney or Disneyland or something like that. Of course, they have the Cinderella with the castles and stuff. I don't know which one this one. Maybe this is Snow White, maybe. I'm not sure. What do we call these kinds of parks? Starts with a T. We've talked about it before. It's kind of like if I have a party and I say, oh, well, we're going to have the party by the beach, so everybody has to wear their bathing suit. It's a beach party, so that's the Or maybe I'm having a costume party. Everybody has to wear a costume, so it's a costume party. Or maybe it's very old-fashioned, where we're going to wear old-style clothes. That's the of the party. What do we call that?
Things to do.
Things to do? Well, yeah, you go to the parks. There's definitely going to be lots of things to do. That's for sure. But the setting, the idea of the park with a unifying setting or idea, it's called a theme. 1 point for Trevor. Trevor's going to win.
Theme park.
You just blow, yeah, right? We just blow out and then move your tongue out just a little bit, just to your teeth. Theme. Theme park. Theme park.
Theme park.
Park. Park. Yeah, Peter. Theme park.
Team.
It's not T. It's not a T, right? You just blow. There's no sound. E. The only voice that comes out is when you go to the E. Theme.
Park.
Theme park.
Team. Park.
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 Yeah. Hannah? You hear me, Hannah?
Theme park.
Theme park. Yeah. Theme. Thank you. Think. Theme. This might be called a marina. Could be. But I think because they have this long kind of wharfy thing over here, maybe the boat can park on that side or something. Highly unlikely. It was kind of hard to get the right picture. But I took this picture because you have both. You have a big business boat, right? A ferry here, which maybe it's on the other side. And then you have all the smaller private boats, the little yachts and the sailboats. It's kind of an unusual little marina, actually, when I look at this. It's not your typical style. I guess this rock wall is probably to protect against the ocean winds and waves, like a shelter, right? Can shelter the boats in bad weather. That's probably what that is. But anyhow, there's like three kinds. Okay, usually when you have these smaller boats, you know, like the fancy yachts, the private boats, the sailboats, the jet boats. That's what we would put those in a private club kind of thing that would be called a marina. It's not for the big ships.
Port.
Sport? Port.
Port.
No, port is the other side now. All right, we got three. So the small one is the private one for all the private boats. That's called a marina. Right? That's usually there's a club and usually there's a restaurant and stuff there. People hang out there with their boats. It's kind of like their own little club. It's called a marina, the Marina Club. And then at the other end, you have the big ports, like Halong Bay has a big port. Haiphong has a port city. That's where all the big ships come in, right? With all the big containers, and that's like things from overseas, from America and Japan and all kinds of, that's like industrial shipping and import and exporting stuff. Those are ports, right? At a port, you don't normally see small vessels, boats like this. A vessel, a boat, that you can call them vessels. You wouldn't see too many sailboats in a port. A port is like you're going to have the big cranes, pick up all the big containers and put them on trucks and put them on trains and things like that. And in between, which is how they usually start. Most marinas and ports start out as a and become something more or less. Starts with an H. But this one, you often have the small boats and the private boats, but you can also have bigger boats there too. Even Sydney Opera House is on Australia's big waterfront area. What do they call that? Starts with an H. No?
Beach.
No, well, the beach is where you hang out and go do some swimming, get a suntan.
Harbor.
Yeah, that's right. Say it again, Bella.
Harbor.
It's called a harbor. Yeah, most of these places start out as harbors and then they kind of develop from there. Yeah, where the water's deep enough to have the boats in there and different things. Harbor. Yeah. So we have marinas, harbors, and ports. And often you'll find a beach at many of these marinas and harbors too. Maybe not at the port, but yeah. But it looks like these are all beachfront too there, Peter, because you can see a lot of white sand everywhere. And then you have a lot of houses over here, really nice in the forest and right on the water. I wish I knew where it didn't, when we took the slide, the video, usually sometimes they'll tell us on the bottom where it is. But I don't recognize the ferry and I don't recognize the place at all. I don't know where this is. But definitely looks nice. And it definitely looks like these houses are all on a little beach here. So they probably can go swimming. Very nice lifestyle. And probably all nice little houses here. Don't know where it is.
Stingrays.
Yeah, that's right, Hannah. These are called stingrays. And these tails are very dangerous. And apparently, I didn't even know that they were. I didn't know that. I knew they were dangerous because sometimes if these fish get scared, they'll stab you with their tail. there's a famous wildlife talk show guy, or I don't know what you call him. He used to animal trainer. He used to work with crocodiles, and maybe after the break, if I think of it, I'll show you him. He was really funny. He was an Australian guy. His name was Steve Irwin, I think. Steve Irwin. And he had his own TV show, and he would explore crocodiles and snakes, and he'd catch them, and he'd handle the animals, and he was really, really good with animals. He was very popular. There have been only 17 recorded deaths caused by stingrays worldwide, ever, that anybody's ever recorded on any kind of record around the world. 17 people have died from these fish. So not very much. Chances of you getting in trouble with one of these guys is very rare, unless somehow you scare him or frighten him or something. That's about the only way. Not something that most people worry about. But I've seen many, many videos where divers are swimming with the stingrays, and people are walking in the water with stingrays everywhere. So what are they doing? It's the same thing when you jump. What is it, Bella?
Dive.
Yeah, it's called diving. They are diving, or they like to dive. To dive. That's what it means to go underwater with a breathing apparatus. What does it say? Usually with breathing equipment. Well, what do you call the tank? Do you know what that equipment is called? Anybody remember? It has all the oxygen in it. What is the oxygen tank called? No? It's called the scuba tank. And they're often referred to as scuba divers. But a dive is also, so I think those people are considered divers too. They dive deep under the water to fish. But dive is also when you jump in the water, but when you go head first, right? You jump, your hands and your head go in first, right? If you run and you just jump in the water, then you're just jumping in the water. But if you go head first, that's also called diving. So bonus point here. Peter, turn your camera on. Bonus point here. I'm going to ask you. You see the guy in the front, the guy who's doing the selfie picture here, right in the front, not the one swimming, but this guy. See that blue thing on the side of his head?
Yeah.
What is it? That blue thing.
It can help you breathe.
Yeah, if you're close to the water, but what's the name of it?
Breathing tube.
It is a breathing tube, but it has a name. You know, we are a walking piece of flesh. But we have a name called humans. Two-legged sack of flesh. But we're humans. That's a breathing apparatus. But it's got a name. For a bonus point. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Snorkel.
You got it. Bella, 3-1 lead. Yeah, snorkel. And it can be a noun, right? A snorkel. But it could also be a verb. And we could say, oh, no, I got that wrong. I am wrong. I spelt it wrong. Trevor's wrong. E-L, not L-E. Yeah, that's a snorkel, right? That's the breathing apparatus that you just said. But it can also be a verb, right? I can go snorkeling. Snorkeling. So it can be a verb too. Because I used to go snorkeling a lot when I was a kid. I never went scuba diving. And the reason was not because I didn't want to, but because it's so expensive. The equipment's very expensive. Taking the course, you have to have a permit, a license, like to be able to snorkel. There's different levels. They're quite strict about it. At least that's what I remember in Canada. I don't know about everywhere around the world. But yeah, my family was not rich, so we couldn't afford to pick up snorkeling. And you can only swim for like 2 months a year in Canada because it's so much winter. It just wasn't worth it. Even though I very much wanted to do it. But I did go snorkeling a lot. I would go by myself with my flippers and my snorkel and my goggles. And I'd go because behind my house, there was a river, a nice big river with a big channel. So boats could go in there. And we lived like I'm gonna guess 2, 3, 2, maybe 3, 2 or 3 kilometers away from the ocean. So like every summer, I could literally just get on my bicycle, or I could walk. We use faster on my bicycle, my BMX and everything. And all the kids, we'd always go down to the ocean, and there was a wharf where all the old fishing boats would come and bring the lobster, right? Because I grew up in a lobster area. And we would always go to the wharf, all of us. Sometimes it'd be 20, 30 kids. And we'd hang out there all afternoon, jumping into the water where the river opened up to the ocean. It was beautiful. And there was a bridge next to it, crossing the river. So we'd go climb up on the bridge and dive into the water. And we'd play tag, and we'd have fun, and we'd eat there. And next to it was a famous restaurant. It's still there. It's a takeaway, like a takeout place, but it's really famous for its fried clams. Not fried chicken, fried clams. And we ate a lot of fried clams as kids in my area. That was a very popular dish. A lot of fried chicken too, but fried clams are really, really good. And they got the big clams. So very tasty. I can't wait to go home. I want to go back to that restaurant. It's called Chez Léo, Leo's place. And it's still there today. Pretty famous. Yeah. So we used to go snorkeling a lot. I've done a lot of that. And I still remember the first time I did it. I was by myself. I was in the river, and I had my snorkel, and I would look under the water with my goggles, and I had my snorkel on, but I was scared to breathe because I was underwater, and I was just always so worried that I would breathe in the water. And I was like so scared. It took me like, I don't know how long, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes where I just kept trying to. And then finally I took a breath. And my heart was pounding. My heart was boom, 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 until I got used to it. And then I could relax, and then I could, oh my God, this is so weird, because, if you put your head underwater, it's really difficult to make yourself breathe. I'll never forget that. But then after that, I was snorkeling all the time, my flippers and everything, and thought I was searching for treasure and having fun. I was an adventurous kid. I was like Tom Sawyer, always on an adventure. So what kind of a movie would this be?
Cinema.
A cinema movies, yeah.
Friday.
Horror.
Well, it could be a horror because we've got zombies in here. It could be a drama. Well, it wouldn't be with the
Action film.
It could be an action film if there's lots of explosion and fast. There's another word for it where it's like, it can be a little bit scary, but really exciting. Yeah, you got it, Hannah.
Thriller.
Yeah, we call that a thriller. It's kind of a mix. It's a bit frightening, but it's got action and it's kind of like keeps you on the edge of your seat. Yeah, thriller. See, I guess Avatar could be considered something like a thriller. Has anyone seen the new Avatar movie?
No.
No? Some of the students in one of the other class said that they went to the cinema on the weekend and they watched Avatar. They thought it was pretty good. It's very exciting. I guess that would be kind of a thriller because there's lots of action and it's kind of scary sometimes a little bit. Thriller. Again, another theme park thriller movie. Try that, Peter. Thriller.
A thriller.
Right? It's thriller.
Thriller.
A thriller film, a thriller movie. That was a real thriller. Hannah? Thriller. Thriller. Bella?
Thriller.
Yeah. Keeps you really interested. A good thriller keeps you really focused on the movie. Now, you guys all know who Michael Jackson is, right?
No.
No? You don't know Michael Jackson? Bella?
No.
Hannah, do you know who Michael Jackson is? Well, I guess it's not is anymore. I have to say was. Hannah, do you know who Michael Jackson is or was? No?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. A famous pop singer. They call him the king of pop. He was big like the Beatles and big like Elvis Presley. He changed pop music for everybody. Peter, you know Michael Jackson, don't you?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Was
He
black,
has
black guy.
dancing.
He has what?
Dancing.
Oh yeah, he was an amazing dancer. That was
Oh.
another. He's the one that invented the moonwalk, famous moonwalk. He invented a lot of moves in dancing. I remember because he was a superstar when I was a kid. And when I was about your age, he made one of the when I was like Bella, you're 9 or 10?
10.
You're 10 now. So I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I was around Bella's age when they started making videos for music. When I was young, it was just you just bought the music and you just listened to it. There were no MTV or music channels. But that came as I was a kid, where the bands would start spending money to record them playing music and put stories in it, and then it got to the point where they started making like little mini movies for the music. And Michael Jackson was one of the pioneers of this too. He had a record and a song that came out that, like, he was already a star, but when he put this one out, he became a superstar all around the world. And that album, I believe, was called Thriller, and the song was called Thriller. So if you ever get a chance, you Google Michael Jackson Thriller and watch the video. It was the first time someone had ever made a music video, and it's like 5 or 6 or 8 minutes long, and it tells the story of how he turns into a werewolf and zombies, and then he creates this whole new dance, and it's all these zombies dancing, and then everybody was dancing like that at parties. He just changed the whole world of pop music and became a worldwide superstar immediately. Everybody went crazy when they saw this. We watched it today with Baloo. Not Baloo, but Tony. And he had never seen it either. And he's like, oh my God. Yeah, and this was like 1983. So that came out when I was Hannah's age. Yeah. So you should Google it. Michael Jackson Thriller, and check out the music video. It's a really good song. I'm sure you've heard the song before, but to watch the song and watch the video at the same time, really, really, really cool. And that was a big, big, big part of why he was a superstar, and how many albums it sold. It was like one of the number one in the world, I think, or something. It was crazy. Crazy time for Michael Jackson. Thriller.
Go.
Zero, Larry.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. That's not how we say it, but it's a really hard word to say. But I'm going to give you a little secret and a little trick on how to say it much easier. Peter, some of it's gold, but some of it's silver. Some of it could be gems and rubies and diamonds. It's not just gold.
Larry.
Yeah.
January.
Larry.
January?
January.
January.
Okay.
January.
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 There's two ways to say it. You could say it the long way. Jew, right? You got that D sound. Ooh, Jew. Some people say jewelry. I say it the short way. Jewel. I go to the L in one sound. Jewelry.
Jewelry.
That's how I say it. Now you could say jewelry. I even hear some people say jewelry. Like there's another letter in between the L and the R. Jewelry. I hear that a lot too. Let's just cut it down to 2 syllables and not 3, because everybody's going to understand what you say when you say it this way. Jewelry. And that's a lot easier to remember. And no one's going to say, oh, you didn't say that correctly. Jewelry, Peter.
Jewelry.
Yeah, very good. Jewel, go to that L and then just drop an RY. Jewelry, jewelry. Look at all the jewelry she has. Jewelry.
Jewelry.
Jewel.
Jewelry.
Two syllables. Just go jewel up to the L. Jewel.
Jewelry.
Like a jewel. And then re. Jewelry. Jewelry.
Jewelry.
And that's an easy way to remember it. Well, you can
Jewelry.
say jewelry, jewelry if you want. You can if you want, but I just find that one difficult. I don't even say it that way. Bella, jewelry, jewelry,
Jewelry.
jewelry, jewelry.
Jewelry.
Yeah. So that's Hannah's point. Is this number 6 now? It is. So 3-3 tie. Come on, Peter. Come on, Peter. No, it's only 2 points. No, only 2 points for Hannah. I had the first one, theme park. 2 points for Hannah. 3-2, bang. Next one. We talked about this at the beginning. A famous place in Sydney. It's the one with all the shark fins.
Theater.
Yeah, but which theater is it?
Never.
No, it's a theater.
Opera.
Yeah, opera what? 2 words. The Sydney Opera
House.
Opera House.
House.
Yeah.
Opera house.
I just realized that because I'm not sure if this is actually the opera house or not, the inside, which is kind of silly because I should have put a picture here of the outside with all this, like from remember the thumbnail, the intro video where we saw the shark fins, the opera house from outside. I should have put that in this video because that's what everybody recognizes. I don't know if the theater inside the opera house, I don't know if this is what it looks like or not. But it was opera house that I wanted. You can see the big stage here. The curtains are down. And then you have the orchestra down here that plays the music live right in the middle of the show. I know a lot of kids think that, oh, boring. But I went to a couple of plays. I've never seen an opera, but where they sing really loud. I've never seen that, but I have been to two theaters, and I saw Phantom of the Opera, which is a very famous theater play, and I saw Cats, which is another pretty famous theater play. And I enjoyed watching both of them. They were a lot of fun, very entertaining, a lot of energy. It was really, really, really cool. And it was almost like 45 minutes or an hour for part 1. And then everybody had a break to get some drinks or some snacks. And then you'd come back in. It was called the intermission. The break time was called the intermission. And then you'd come back and then you'd watch the second half. So it was almost like 2 hours. It's really worth the entertainment. And a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun going to that. I recommend you try. If you ever get a chance to go watch a play in a theater, do it. You won't regret it. It's not boring at all. Peter will get this one for sure. How do we play our video games today? What's the mode?
Control.
No. It is a controller, but that's not the word.
Modern.
It's about the graphics.
Handle.
What?
Handle.
Well, it is. It's a controller, a handle controller. That's true. But look at the style. Look at the graphics in both games. The old Pac-Man game and then this video.
Modern.
Well, it is modern. That's true. But this has been around for a couple of decades now, at least. I think these kind of games where you can go front and back have been around since the 90s. I think so. Like imagine, look at the small picture, Pac-Man. You can only go left, right, up, down, jump, boing, 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 like a Mario Brother game. But the other game, you can go like single fire shooters or single shooter games, whatever you call it, where you can go into buildings and over the hills and fly in planes, and you can go front and back and side to side and up and down. You can go everywhere. What kind of graphics is that?
2D.
The small one's 2D. What's the big one?
3D.
3D. Yeah, 3 dimensions. It's written right here. We call it 3D dimensions. Yeah. 3-dimensional. Where the Pac-Man is just 2-dimensional, right? You can only go left, right, up, down. Which the first video games, all the games were 2D. 3D technology. Yeah. And that's now we have that in movies. Well, not now, a long time as well. I think we had 3D movies before we had 3D games. Because back in the 90s and the early 2000s, online gaming was not very fun. Everything was freezing all the time, and there was a lot of delays, and it was not good connections at all. And they took up a lot of bandwidth. It was very difficult to play video games online then. Now, of course, it's much, much better. And of course, as the future comes, it's going to get even better and better and better and better and better and better. It's unbelievable how fast technology is growing. So yeah, I made a video on this. It's called The History of Video Games. And it talks about the very first Ataris and Pongs, and then how it evolved in the 2-dimensional videos and now the 3-dimensional videos. Very cool stuff. 3D. Peter, I thought you were going to get that.
3D.
Yeah, but you didn't get it.
Walking around.
That's a beach? You go swimming there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend no. That would probably be very dangerous to swim there. Water would throw you up against the rocks. You got nowhere to climb out. No, that would be dangerous. Never swim. Yeah, never swim in areas like that. That's dangerous. Very dangerous. And you can see, like, if you look at the rocks, like it's like wet
Save.
all up here. What is it?
Save.
Save. This is about the path she's walking on. They often make these beautiful pathways along the sea, along the ocean, or maybe along a river. You'll see them in many cities or many tourist attraction areas. And there's a word for these kind of pathways, walkways. There's a word for it. But it usually means, right? Especially one built next to the sea or next to, that looks like an ocean. Now, some of these, what are they called? Starts with a P. Now, again, I don't know where this is.
Promenade.
Yeah, it's a promenade, or the British would say promenade.
Yes.
I say promenade. But I'm guessing promenade is the French word. There's a lot of French words in English. But the American spelling, according to Cambridge, is promenade. But I've always said promenade. Promenade. Peter.
Promenade.
Yeah. Bella?
Promenade.
Hannah?
Promenade.
Yeah. Those are beautiful places to take a walk. And this looks really beautiful. I'd love to go wherever this is. I don't know where it is. Yeah. Probably some park or something. Okay, so this one's going to be a sport. Well, it's a sport, and it's also something we all do with the internet. So we got a 4-4 tie. Let's go to the next word.
Surfing.
Yeah. Surf or surfing. Because we also do it on the internet, right? When we go through all the different channels and we're just looking around and browsing, we're searching around. We call it surfing the web. There's that kind of surfing. And then, of course, there's like what they do a lot. Well, they do quite a bit here in Da Nang, too. I was quite surprised. There's a lot of surfers here in Da Nang. I haven't seen waves as big as that in Da Nang. Not that big, but they're close. Some we go further out. Some of them get pretty big in Da Nang. I don't think Vietnam is a big surf destination, but Australia is a big surfing destination. Lots of surfing in Australia. Lots of people do that there. Yeah, to surf, to go surfing. It can also be a noun. You can call it the surf, the area. I think so. The surf. Surf. Let's check. The mass or line of foam formed by waves breaking on the shoreline or reef. Okay, so where you see all the water crashing back in, the white stuff, that's called the surf. Where the water crashes in and all the foamy area, especially like up on the beach when it washes up and you have all the foamy, bubbly water. If you've ever hung out at a beach, that's called the surf. I didn't know that. I knew it was something like that. I just wasn't sure what. Yeah. And again, of course, it's a verb as well, to surf. Surf. Surf, 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 surf. Would you like to try surfing, Hannah?
Yes.
Yeah. It's one of those sports I understand that you really need to start when you're young, like skateboarding. It's not something you start when you're already an adult and you're not playing a lot of sports because it really requires a lot of technique and a lot of balance. And as far as I know, anybody who's a good surfer is someone who started when they were young and they've been surfing for many years because it's really difficult. Very difficult. What's that place you went to the beach, Hannah?
Nha Trang.
Nha Trang, that's right. Did you ever, were there any surfers there? Yeah. Okay, so just like Da Nang.
Uh,
Don't know? Don't remember? What does that mean?
no.
Don't remember. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you go to the beach here in Da Nang, you'll see lots of surfers on the beach and out deeper in the water. Yeah. Bella, would you like to try surfing?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you a swimmer? Can you swim?
What?
Yeah. Okay. That's good because if you're going to go surfing, it's a good idea that you can swim too. What about Peter? Would you like to try it?
No.
No, you don't like swimming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. It's good to know how to swim. So even right here, right in the middle here, you can see two people. They're going to go further out. It is a
The
beach.
beach.
It's a beach, but you can see there's a couple of kids here. They're going to practice learning how to surf. Maybe they're, like I said, actually, all of these people here, these are all surfers. Look at them. They're all sitting on their boards. They're not swimming. All of these people here, they are surfing. Look right there. See them? Small waves. That's how you learn, right? You go to the beach and you practice on these small waves.
Bondi Beach. Bondi Beach.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say that well, it's red right here. This is a popular beach just outside of Sydney in an area called Bundy. And in Bundy is the famous beach of Bundy Beach. So as I said, this is how you can learn, right? You get the beach. This is very much the kind of water you have in Vietnam along the coast in Da Nang and Nha Trang. And you can see them. They're all sitting here right now. But see, it's going to break a little bit. They're small. So these guys are going to be able to catch a wave here. Here goes one guy. Here goes a couple of kids. And you start learning your balance. So it's pretty safe. I would like to see my kids learn how to surf. It's good. It's a healthy sport. And it's Bundy Beach. Very popular Australian beach. Okay. So what is Bundy Beach? It's a place that people like to visit. Why is that? And this massive, huge rock in the middle of the outback desert in Australia, right in the middle of the whole country. And around it for 1,000 miles that way, 1,000 miles that way, 1,000 miles that way, 1,000 miles that way, it's nothing but flat. And then there's this massive rock right in the middle. But tourists love to go see it. And what is it with social medias? Look at them. They're all to the handphone and the social medias. What is that? Or maybe it's a guy who sees a really pretty girl or a girl who sees a really handsome man. They're very, oh my God, he's so handsome. Oh, she's so pretty. What is it? I know you guys don't experience that yet, but you see the deal. Yeah, attraction. That's what we're talking about. Attraction can be something that you go visit, right? Halong Bay is an attraction. Da Nang has many attractions. Nha Trang is an attraction. A lot of tourists go there. Nha Trang, however you say it. Peter's store and house, that's an attraction. People go visit him every day. Right, Peter?
Yeah.
All right. Attraction. Don't forget, you got to go to the K. Attraction.
Attraction.
Yeah.
Attraction.
Yeah. But you don't want to go attraction, right? You want to attach that K into the shun, right? So watch what I do here. Attraction. Attraction.
Attraction.
Chun.
Chun.
Yeah, Hannah. Attraction.
Attraction.
So you're going attraction. I don't want to hear the K. I want the K to be the beginning of the sh.
Attraction.
Yeah, attraction. Peter?
Attraction.
Good. Peter?
Attraction.
So that was Hannah got that. So now we got a 5-5 tie again. Oh my God, so much tying. What is that yellow thing in their hand? What are they doing to the sentence? To emphasize something, to attract attention. I need to
Memo pen.
like a marker, but right, we use it to wet the words in our text so that we'll remember, we can find it easily. What is this called? See, I do it in my book. This is how I find it.
Outstanding.
Oh, no, outstanding means to stand above, to do something really, really well. Outstanding performance. But it creates outstanding text. But that's not the word. We don't say outstanding text. Unless it's some magic literature or an outstanding book or an outstanding story, maybe. You don't know what we call this?
Liner.
Liner? No.
Memo pen.
No, it's called highlight. Yeah. So the verb here, to highlight the text using a highlighter. This is a highlighter. And when you cover, you highlight, right? That's what you do. You highlight the words in the text so you can come back and remember your notes, or if you're studying or something that's important that you're looking for. So easy to find. Highlighter. And use the highlighter to highlight the text. Try that, Hannah. Use the highlighter to highlight the text.
You
Use the highlighter.
highlighter.
Use the highlighter to highlight the text.
Use the highlight to highlight the text.
Use the highlighter to highlight
Oh, highlighter.
highlighter.
Hannah?
Use the highlighter to highlight the text.
Yeah, well, that's just like next, right? This X is a KX, so you got to go text. Right, watch my finger. Text. Difficult. Text. Next text, please. Peter.
Use the highlighter to highlight the text.
Close. But it's not highlight and it's not test. It's highlight the text. Text. Again. Use the highlighter to highlight the text. Text.
Use the highlighter to highlight the text.
Technology. Tech. Next, right? It's the same thing. We have that X in the middle, so we have to put this KS in there. Right? This KS, the darn KS sound. Right? So it doesn't matter if it's neck, but we want to stop at the K. Tech, but don't say k. We're going to throw and glide that K into the S. But what makes this one difficult is that we got to go st. So next. There you go. Text. Yeah. Hannah, one more time. Text. Hannah.
Text.
Yeah. 3 times, Bella.
Text.
Text the next
Text.
text.
Text the next.
Not nest. Next. Same. Next. Oh my God. Bella has a party. Bella has a party in her house. Hannah, one more time. Text the next text.
Text. The next text.
Yeah. And it's okay to say it slowly to get used to it, right? You got to train yourself. It takes time. It'll come naturally, but you got to know what sounds to make. Bella, can you speak now?
Text the
Next. Same thing. Text. Next. Text the next.
Text the next.
Next. Next.
Next.
Text. Yeah. Once you practice this and we get more practice doing this, it'll come naturally as long as you know what all the sounds are. Text the next text, please. Text the next text, please. And I don't have to think about it anymore. But even the word like helicopter, when I was a kid, I couldn't even say that word. I would say eptacutter. Look at the eptacutter. I couldn't say helicopter. Yeah. Helicopter. Yeah, I couldn't say that when I was a kid. There was a few words I couldn't say. I can't remember what they are now, but there was a few words I couldn't remember. I couldn't say when I was
dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Bella jumps out to a 1-point lead again, Hannah. Yeah, see, Bella's not afraid. Bella would love to play with the crocodile.
No. What are they doing?
It is in. I think it's Thailand. Thailand, they have these crazy shows where that's what they do. People pay to come into the I don't know if it's a park or some sort, and they do all these tricks with the crocodile, and they pretend that they master the crocodile, and people are like, oh my God, just like right now you look at it, it's like, I wouldn't try that. But yeah, I think it's Thailand they do this. There's a lot of people complaining about it too, because what I understand, I don't know if this is true, so I'm just going to tell you what I heard. I'm not the one saying this. I heard that what they do is they drug the alligators or the crocodiles. So they're kind of like, hey man, what's going on? And that's why they can do this, because the elevator is too drugged to be able to think of attacking anybody or doing anything. And that's what I heard, that's how they do it. I don't know if it's true or not. And I've never seen this. I've been to Thailand a couple of times, but I don't encourage these things. Like when they have circuses and animals and they do tricks like this, I never go see them, because I'm the type of person I want those places to shut down. Let the crocodiles go back in the swamp. Let the elephants go back to Africa and Asia. Let the monkeys go back into the jungle. Like, leave the animals alone. Why do you want to put them in a cage? And I will never have birds. I'll have cats. I'll have dogs. I'll have domesticated animals that live with people naturally. But I'll never have birds. That's me. But I would become a fireman and risk my life to save people. I would do that if I was younger. Yeah, and guns. Of course, guns are dangerous. So we don't want to do that either. Playing with any kind of wild animal is dangerous. You know, it's just not wise because they're wild. Even small ones, raccoons, still dangerous to do that. And you shouldn't do it. Some jobs are dangerous. Weapons are always dangerous, of course. And even dogs. We were in one of the classes the other day. We were looking at, what kills more people on the planet. And number one, do you know what it is? What kills more people on planet Earth every year? Anybody know? Bella? Do you know? Hannah? Bzzz.
Bees.
No, not bees.
Mm.
Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. Yeah. Because they carry, as mostly in Africa and around the equator. It's happened. There have been some cases in Vietnam, but it's quite rare. And in the southern United States. It's a virus or a bacteria or virus that mosquitoes carry when they're infected with this, that when they bite you, you get infected. And malaria kills a lot of children every year. Like 80% of the people die. Our children, I mean, under the age of 5. And this is a big problem in Africa. Not as big as it used to be from what I heard. And I don't remember if it's 600 or somewhere between 600,000 to 1 million people a year die from malaria. Number 2, do you know what number 2 is? That kills more people?
Tiger.
Tigers do kill people, but there's not that many tigers now. And it's only like in Bangladesh and some of these India places where they're still wild. I heard once that there was only 3,000 or 5,000 wild tigers left. Oh, there's some in Russia too. Northern China, Russia, Siberia, Mongolia area up north. They're the biggest ones. And they do kill people. They do, but not many. Because people don't. Yeah. People. The wars, car accidents, people killing people. Yeah. Homicides. Yeah. We're the number 2 killer of people. Ourself. Crazy. And number 3 really surprised me at first, but then I think about it and okay, no, now I understand. Number 3 is dogs. Now, usually these are wild dogs, but you don't hear many people dying from dingo dogs in Australia. It's only happened once or twice, I think. Or wild African dogs. They probably attack people too if they had the chance. And wolves up in the north. But again, people don't go walking around in the forest with wolves around. So those don't happen very much. But it's the wild dogs, especially in the poorer countries.
May I go out?
Yep. The wilder dogs. Wild dogs in poorer countries. And what it is it's not that the dogs get they kill the people themselves, like, and then they eat the people. Do you know what it is, Hannah? What it is about the dogs that kill people? It's the same thing as mosquitoes.
Is
Rabies. Rabies is another virus. Yeah, a dog gets infected or a raccoon gets infected by this virus called rabies. It makes the animal go crazy and attacks, no fear. And it transmits to people, and people die from rabies as well. So I was really surprised that dogs were number 3 on the list. And there's crocodiles in there and snakes in there and everything, but it was surprised. Dangerous, Hannah.
dangerous.
Dangerous, Peter.
Dangerous.
You gotta have a D in there. Danger, not danger. Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Germany. Can you say Germany?
Germany.
Germany, the country. Germany.
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 Yeah, I don't hear the D in the front. You got to get that little D in here. Germany. Germans.
Germany.
There you go. So Germany. Germany.
Germany.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
What is he sitting on?
Branch.
What is it, Bella? What is it? Say it again, Bella.
Branch.
What is he
Branch.
sitting? Again, I am not hearing you clearly. One more time.
Branch.
Yeah, with a.
Branch.
What's the first letter?
Branch.
Bench. A B. That's right.
Bench.
A bench. 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 Just like the French in France. There are a lot of benches in France. That's a French bench. I don't know if there's such a thing. French style. Yeah. Bench. Those long chairs outside in parks, people's yards, in the front of people's houses. They're called benches. Bench. Plural would be benches. Bella, say dangerous.
Dangerous.
Jur. That's right. You got it. Dangerous. That's a dangerous bench. Is that right? Can I say that? That's a dangerous bench.
Why?
Because I could fall asleep on it. And maybe a tiger would come and eat me.
No.
No. How do you know? How do you know this bench is not in India or Bangladesh?
I don't know.
You could tell by the vegetation. This doesn't look like we're in India. Bench. Worried or slightly frightened? Oh my God, I can't do it. I'm so worried. It's scary. I'm shaking. I'm sweating. Maybe have a job interview or you're going to do a test and you're really sweaty before the test. You're worried about not studying enough. Maybe you're it's like, well, this is stressful if you are like this. Or maybe you're meeting strangers for the first time and you feel uneasy. Or maybe you're going to swim for the first time and they're going to put you in deep water.
Fear.
Well, like frightened, fear. No, Peter?
Scare.
No, not scared. I wouldn't put scared in here. Too easy. Look at the guy up there. Look at how he's acting. You know, he's very worried about something. No, starts with an N.
Nervous.
Yeah, nervous. I think a lot of people who walk on this bridge, this rope bridge, would be very nervous to do it. He looks really nervous about something, very worried about something. Would you like to try that, Bella? Walking on this bridge?
No.
You don't like heights?
No.
What about you, Hannah? You're an adventurous girl. Would you like to walk on that bridge on that bridge?
No.
No, you don't like heights either? Really? Oh, I would do it. Peter, you want to go?
No.
Why? Are you worried of heights too?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're so young. How could you be worried about this? See, he's got a hook here. He's on the rope. If he falls, it'll hang him there. I don't know. Yeah, when I was young, I used to climb bridges and get in trouble with my parents and the police because we're not supposed to climb these tall bridges. But all the kids did it, and we used to climb them to jump into the water, really high. And I used to climb the tallest trees you could find, like 6, 7, 8, 10 stories high. And I did a lot of rock climbing and mountain climbing. And I will say there were times I was a little bit scared because I was afraid of falling. But as long as I had something to hold on to, I was never really afraid of heights. And I've never been afraid in helicopters or planes. It's never bothered me. I've always felt safe. But now that I'm older, it's changed. Now, sometimes I look at cliffs and I look at some of these places where they are and I get this weird feeling in my chest and it makes me feel uneasy. Of course, now because I'm older, I would never, ever go rock climbing again now. I'm too old to do rock climbing. But a walk like this on a rope bridge like that, I think this I could do. I don't think I'd be nervous because I got the ropes. I know I'm safe. Even if I fell, I'm safe. It's got the security belt harness and everything. I would do it. It would be cool. Nervous. Hannah?
Nervous.
Nervous. Yeah.
Nervous.
Bella?
Nervous.
Yeah. Peter?
Nervous.
Nervous. Nervous.
Nervous.
Oh, I like your idea. With that.
Agree?
Yeah, Bella's running away with it now. It's 9-5. Uh-oh. Agree or agreed? Yeah, he approves. So he agrees with, whatever it is. He agrees. Thumbs up. First it was a refusal. Now it's acceptance. So an acceptance means, yeah, okay, I agree. Agree. Maybe he sold his farm. Looks like a farmer, and then it looks like a businessman or something here with a suit. Yeah, it looks like a suit. Got the buttons. Agree. Agreed. Very new.
Modern.
Modern is right. 9-6. Modern electronic EV cars. Modern city and highways and buildings. Modern ideas. Modern thinking. Modern technology, not the old style. So what is the old style? What can we call modern. Modern. Easy one. What do we call the old style?
Designer.
Designer? No. We could say grandma and grandpa are very what? They're not modern. They're the opposite.
Oh.
Old. Well, this word kind of represents or resembles things from the past. That's true.
Pension.
Pension. The typewriter's got a pension. That's a typewriter. That's how we used to type letters before, and write books. And that old clock. Maybe it's the clothes they wear. Very. It's the opposite of modern.
Antiques.
Oh, antiques.
Antique.
Yeah, well, antiques is a really good word, but antiques are the things that are old, maybe like that grandfather clock, maybe like that typewriter, maybe an old Ford Model T car. They call it a classic too. Antiques, furniture. Those are very, very old things that people collect, and they're worth money because there's not many left and they don't make it like that anymore. So they're kind of special. There are lots of people in the world that are antique collectors. That's what they do. They go around to different countries and they go to these different places and shops and they try to buy antique guns, antique tables, antique cameras, whatever it is, but it has a value. So that's like a collection. And it's a really beautiful collection because some antiques are just amazing what they used to do. But this is not about the thing. It's more about the thinking, the way of doing things, the way of looking at things. Right? And I put grandpa in here because often kids will have conversations with grandma and grandpa, and you'll think that they're old school. The way they see things is so different than the way you see it. The way they do things is the old style. What is it, Hannah?
Designer.
Designer. Isn't that what Bella just said too? Not modern. Belonging to or typically of a time in the past. A way of thinking. Oh, you're so... Get with modern times. Come on, wake up. No? Old-fashioned. Most grandparents believe that you should live your life the way they lived their life when they were kids. Right? They're very old-fashioned. people say, but this is kind of something I don't know who said that. Might have been Tony Robbins or someone, but I heard this before and I totally agree. You'll hear people in life say they want change. They like change, right? They like surprises and all these kinds of things. But the average person, that's not true. Like now, if you say surprise, like happy birthday, and you get presents and cake or a party, well, yeah, many people like that kind of a surprise. But to say that people want change in their life, they say that, they make New Year's resolutions, they're going to change their life, they're not going to do this anymore, they're going to stop smoking, whatever it is. But the problem with change is that this is the way it is today. This is the change, what they want. Now, they want this, but they don't want to do what is required in between to get the change. They don't want the pain. They just want it now. And they don't want to go through the hard time. They don't want to put the work in. They don't want to put the study in. They don't want to put the time in. They just want it now. But the reality, and I agree, this is just a theory, of course, but I agree with it, is that most people don't want to change much. Most people like things the way they are, the way people set it up in their house, the way they set it up in their community, the way they set it up in their friends and everything. And then when things change and people change and technology change, when you're young, it's kind of cool. But when you're older, we don't like the change so much. We want it to stay the same. You'll notice that when you get older. And you'll notice that with your parents and your grandparents. As things change, they don't like it as much as they say they do. But it's usually because they don't want to learn new things. People are generally quite lazy. Last word of the day. Bella wins the vocab challenge today. Gives her a 2-point lead over Peter and Hannah. 3-1-1. And the last word of the day is Grandpa.
Hello, everybody.
It's not Lay. Lay, this is not Miss Lay. No.
Business travel.
Who? Who travels?
Me.
You travel? Up and down the street? Up and down the stairs?
Tourist.
Tourist. And Bella makes it a wrap with a 10-6 victory over Hannah. Congratulations. And a 2-point lead in the vocab challenge, interest 7. All right. Peter's going to go first. Hannah's going to go second. And Bella's going to go last. And I'm going to go fix my coffee. See you guys in a bit. Hello, Miss Lay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Miss
So
Lay.
Peter first, gentleman first.
Uh-huh. The traveler. The Bui Key Street traveler.
Peter, your example with number 1. Theme park.
Theme park. That theme park looked cool. I want to.
Looks cool. That theme
Cool.
park looks cool.
Looks.
That's good.
Only one, right, Peter? So it's it, right? So it looks cool. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's good, Peter. But you gotta remember that's good because that's what I want to see. I don't want to hear I like, I don't like something. Try to put an adjective in there, put a verb in there. Try to be creative. You're creative in video games, you become creative in sentences. Or I delete you.
Hannah, number 2.
The
Harbor.
The harbor where I live is smaller than here.
The harbor where we live, near our house, is smaller than.
Where I live is smaller than here. So you're a tourist now. You're visiting somewhere. You're at another harbor. So the harbor where I live is smaller than this one. No, that's a good sentence.
This one, than here. Here sounds a little bit like a spoken language, right? Than this one. This one, it means it's near to you now. It's closer to you now. And you think about.
Well, that sentence would be like if she was in Halong Bay. right? And she's there now, and she makes the statement, this harbor is smaller, or what is it? No, the harbor near where I live is smaller than this harbor. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Bella, number 3.
I think the stingray is dangerous.
I think stingrays, right,
Are dangerous.
are dangerous. I think in general, right? It's your opinion.
Can be is best, right? Because I tried to. Sorry for interrupting again, but I just want to make it clear, because 99% of the time, you can swim in the water with stingrays. They're harmless. They don't like they're people. I've seen many videos where people are petting them and they're swimming around with them in the water. It's a rare occasion that they're harmful.
She said that I think, right, or in my opinion. So it's just her personal.
Yeah.
Thoughts. All right, back to Peter, number 4.
I don't know how to drive.
I don't know how to dive.
I don't know how to dive.
Dive. Yet. Okay. Hannah, number 5.
After I watch thriller. I can't sleep because I'm so scared.
Okay. So this one, what I see is you tell the story already happened in the past, right? So I think like to make it grammatically right, we have to say that after I had watched the thriller, that thriller, right? I couldn't sleep because I was so scared, right? Because the start point of the story already in the past. So before that, you watched the movie first, right? And then after that, you couldn't sleep. So you had watched the thriller and then you couldn't sleep. And the reason is because you were so scared. All right. Bella, right?
My mom have some jewelry.
But has, right? She only one mom writes for now. Yes, that's right. My mom has some jewelry. Back to Peter. Peter, number 7.
I never go to an opera house.
I never go to that opera house. Yeah. Back to Peter. So Hannah, 3D.
Have you tried playing 3D games or 3D movies?
Not yet. No, I think once. I remember at that time that we had to wear the glasses, the black glasses. So that is 3D, I think. Yeah. So if that it was, so yes, I did. Yeah, 3D. 3-dimensional, yeah, 3-dimensional movies or games. That's Hannah. So now it's back to Bella. Number 9. Promenade or promenade. 2 ways to say it. It's just like a path, right?
I already work on a
promenade. I already work. I usually, I sometimes on the promenade or promenade. Yeah.
Promenade.
You say that. It's just the way a road pass. So I usually walk on the Promenade in the afternoon. All right. So back to Peter, number 10. Surf.
So,
Surf.
I
It's easy for you.
I don't know how to surf.
So you mean like a surf the waves, right? In the sea. Yeah. I know how to surf. Me either. And we don't learn, so we don't know. All right. Back to Hannah. Bondi Beach. Where is it? Where is this beach? You don't know? I'm sure Mr. Trevor explains in the class. Australia, right?
Oh. Have you go to Bondi Beach?
So this one, if we try to ask the question like that, I think we should use present perfect, right? So have you ever been to have you ever been to Bondi Beach before? You can add time expression. Not yet. I have never been in Australia. All right. So back to Bella. Attraction. You can have a tourism attraction or have different attractions.
Hạ Long Bay is
Long Bay. Long Bay is
there are many attractions in Hạ Long Bay.
In Hạ Long, yeah, in Quảng Ninh, in Hạ Long Bay. So you have a caves in your Hạ Long Bay, bay. Maybe there are a lot of attractions in Hạ Long City or Quảng Ninh province, because besides Hạ Long Bay you can go to what's that? What's the mountain? What's the pagoda in that high mountain? Yeah, we have many attractions. But Hạ Long Bay, I think it is a specific place, so maybe we shouldn't say there are a lot of attractions in Hạ Long Bay. We say that there are a lot of attractions or tourism attractions in Quảng Ninh province, right? Back to Peter, number 13.
I want to do a highlight.
Do the highlight here is the now. And we say that do the highlight. Make, yeah. Maybe I just want to highlight some important or necessary or good words in this text. So you want to highlight because it's a verb. But do the highlight, maybe no. Peter, so Hannah, number 14, dangerous.
Firefighting is a very dangerous profession.
Firefighting is a very dangerous profession or career. Yeah, I think so. Really have to practice, and we have to have a appropriate tools, right? Our equipment. Hannah, so Bella, number 15.
In the park, there are many benches.
Many benches. So remember, this one is CH at the end, so we have to put ES, right? So there are many benches. Benches where?
In the park.
In the park. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they put benches in the park, and then people can sit down, read books, take the rest there too. Benches. So back to Peter, number 16.
I nervous for tomorrow.
It's an adjective, sorry. It's an adjective, so we have to use verb be. So I am nervous. When are you nervous?
I nervous when
I am nervous.
I am nervous. When tomorrow my uncle go to hospital.
You try to use present simple, but I think you try to tell the story in the past, so you can say that kind of worried, right? Of course, here the Vietnamese sometimes confused a little bit, like in the video, right? You see that nervous, like you were in a long and not very good bridge and something like that. So about your uncle went had to go to the hospital. I think it kind of like a worried, right? I felt nervous. Okay, you can say that I felt nervous when my uncle had to go to the hospital. I think you should use past simple, yeah, because the story sounds like already happened. If we try to use present simple, it means like it sounds like he goes to hospital very often or something like that. Yeah. All right. Hannah, number 17.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah. This one we leave it in the past. Past simple form, but you can use present simple or any tenses you want.
They are agreed.
Why we have to use verb be here? Agree is the verb, right? So if you want to use the present simple with they, so just they agree, not they are.
They agree.
Yeah, they agree.
Agreed. My Facebook friend request.
They agree my Facebook.
Friend request.
You mean like when, for example, Facebook or your account, Facebook, that they requests something and you click agree, right? Yeah, disagree, agree. Yeah, it can be that way, but if not, it's just very simple. You can say that my mom usually agrees when I ask some maybe like what allowance, like a pocket money. Yeah, for my small things. Yeah, agree to do something. Agree that, or we say that they agree that this book is very good, right? Yeah, many examples. All right, Bella, number 18.
We live in the modern world.
Modern world, we live in a modern world now for sure. Back to Peter. Number 19.
My grandma is old-fashioned.
Who?
Old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned. But who?
My grandma.
Yeah, maybe some, yeah, but not all. She's still almost 80 years old and she still can ride motorbike very fast and she's still very aggressive. But yeah, it's just an example. All right, Hannah, you will finish it up with number 20.
Tourists.
Tourists.
There are a lot of tourists visit.
One more S, right? There are a lot of tourists. Yeah.
Visit Da Nang every year.
Yeah, every year. The two, especially now our Tet holiday is coming. Yeah, there are a lot of tourists everywhere because that's the time that people have holiday and they can enjoy their vacation and go to different places. So they are tourists. All right, everybody, that is it for our sentence challenge. And I think you take a short break and after that you read a little bit. Go back to your reading with Mr. Cher. All right. So goodbye for Miss Clay. Bye, everybody. Break time.
Bye.
Bye.
A little funny dog. Next time, ask, is this your dog? But he didn't ask if it was her dog. He said, does your dog bite? No, it doesn't bite. Bite. You liar. No, that's not my dog. Crazy story. All right. Good enough. Are you guys, I don't know. I don't think we're going to have a class next week, but I think Lay will just check with you guys and see if you want to have the class or not, because Tet holiday will have started. So we'll just see what happens next week. I'll let Miss Lay deal with you guys. So if I don't see you again for a couple of weeks, then I just want to wish you a happy Tet now. And Happy New Year, a happy Tet New Year, and have a good time. And don't forget to send me lots of lucky money.
Many
No.
bánh chưng bánh dày.
What?
Bánh
Bánh chưng.
bánh chưng, bánh tét, bánh
She
Okay.
gives you bánh chưng.
bánh
Chưng
tét.
cake. Chưng
What?
cake.
Oh, chun cake.
She gives you chưng
Oh,
cake.
okay. Okay, I'm waiting for it. Chun cake.
No.
No, well, you said you're going to give me some.
Tết cake.
Tết cake.
Tết.
So you're going to give me some Tet cake?
You know.
Yeah, I know. Every Tet, I've been here for 10 years. I've had Tet cake every year. Yes, I know. I know. All right. If I don't see you next Monday, happy holidays. But I hope I see you next Monday. You guys might be home.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.